Hello everybody, it's the Amazing Gaming Guy here, and welcome back to the Steampunk City, where this week we're going to be building something damn good. Sorry. No, but we will be building a dam to provide power to the town, so it's going to be a hydroelectric dam, but it's not going to be your average hydroelectric dam, because the water is actually going to power sort of paddle boat paddles instead of whatever they normally use, like turbines. And these are going to run cogs and things, so it's going to be all steampunky, so it's going to be a steampunk style dam, which I've never actually seen before. I've done a lot of research into other builds and things in real life as well, and I've never really seen a steampunk style dam. And a dam is a very sort of industrial looking object, so I was kind of surprised not to have seen one. So that's what we're doing today. We are building a dam, so it's all going to be over here. As you can see, we've built up the walls and we're filling in the water into this area here. Now, we started off with this diagonal wall across the opening here as just a sort of guide as to where the dam wall will have to be, and we put this ellipse into the sky, or rather Joe did, and we were going to use this as the sort of guide as to the curve of the wall. But yeah, as you can see, that last little corner we were going to use, but it didn't work. It didn't work out. So we went along by hand and tried to make the curve ourselves, and I think we just about got there. The problem that we had was, as with so many parts of this build, not only were we trying to build a sort of more complicated shape, a curve, which isn't very easy to do in Minecraft, but we were trying to build it on a diagonal, which makes it so much harder. As you probably, if you've seen the other videos, you'll have seen me complaining about this many times. It's harder to build things on diagonals, and you can see on this wall, it's such an irregular shape as well. So we've got sort of it's sort of 5 blocks wide on the far left of this shot, and then when you get to the far right, it's only like a couple of blocks wide each section, and that's what we had to do to get this curve. And it's a very strange shape, but we used all the colours and things here to try and make it look more symmetrical, because it had to be somewhat symmetrical. So we used the polished andesite blocks to go across and make these sort of strips all along it to try and add some sort of symmetricalness. And you can see at the top there, we're building these sort of, I'm not sure what you'd call them, sort of revetments or something. No, that's probably not a good word. I don't know. I don't really know what to call those sort of outcrops along the top. And I saw these on all the sort of reference images that I found of dams in the real world. They all seem to have these revetments along the top, and I think that is a method to sort of guide the water down channels if the dam overflows in a flood. So it will actually come over the top of the dam that you can see there, and those would guide it down the dam safely. So we've built these little channels coming through the dam, and this is what's going to be powering the electricity. So you can see the two cogs on the side there, and we're about to actually change that design very slightly, because this is the point that I had the idea to use sort of a paddle boat paddle to power the cogs. So yeah, you can see us doing that there, and I really wanted to sort of dig it into the dam, rather than having it exposed on the outside. But we only built this on the middle channel because the other two were a little bit too small for it, and we thought, actually, you only really want it on one of the channels right in the middle just to keep it symmetrical, and it would have been more difficult on the side ones as well, because it starts to change shape and get a bit weird over there. So that's what we chose to do with this, and you can see the water just, yeah, there we go. We did a lot of sort of channeling the water with invisible blocks and stuff, and we finally managed to get it to something that we're happy with, like that. So we come around the back now, and we started to put down these polished andesite blocks again on the back side of the dam, and I added some more of these sort of, I still don't know what to call them, these sort of pillars, these outcrops, and these ones actually go all the way down because we're trying to channel the water into those holes to go through the dam. And on a side note, you might have noticed that I've actually changed my shaders slightly since the sort of beginning episodes of this build. I actually changed them for the last episode, I think, the one where we were building the garden. It's the same make of shaders, it's still the Seuss shaders, Sonic Ether's Unbelievable shaders, but this is actually the 10.2 preview. And it's fantastic, it's absolutely amazing, and I've done a little bit of work in some of the config files to get those amazing volumetric clouds and the beautiful water. Sonic Ether shaders are amazing. If you can run them, you really should run them on Minecraft, because it just makes everything look so much better without sort of taking away from what was already there. It's not like quite a destructive texture pack or anything, it just stays the same, apart from the shaders. Now we're just going around and lighting up what we've built so far. As you know, this is my favourite part of any build, just going around and lighting it up at night time, because you just get to step back and look at what you've made. And yeah, that's the backside of the dam in that last shot. So here we go, just a little flyby of what we've made. I'm really quite proud of this. I think it's turned out quite well. In some of the early stages of building this, I wasn't too sure if we were going to go through with it, because we had a lot of trouble getting the right shape and everything, and there wasn't enough detail, but you know, we added all of that detail back in, and I feel like we got there in the end. So if you've enjoyed this, give it a like, a comment, and subscribe if you haven't yet, and we will see you all in the next episode. Goodbye!